you all for being here this afternoon, or this evening now, I guess. But if we could, I've got a number of things to show you and talk through for your information. So let's start with the picture that I've got on the screen now. And so from our last series of meetings, we were requested to, one of the things that we've always have been asked is, where can we put a track? Where can we have a track where our students can utilize for field events, and things of that nature? And the question has always been, will it fit around the existing football field, and how does it relate to the existing stadium? And so this first drawing that we've got pulled up here is a test fit to see what a 400-meter track would look like and how it would sit around the football field. And so if you look, this where my hand is at is the current visitor bleachers. And then if you come below there in this gray area, this is the existing home bleachers. And you'll see that that in this small box here is where the existing locker room is at. And you'll see that the 400-meter track is bigger than the footprint of where the bleachers would go. And so once we saw that, we knew that everything else that we had that we needed for bleachers, a track, concessions, and as you see, there's a portion that's on top of the existing concession stand, and certainly on top of the concession stand on the visitor side. You'll see that this is really not going to. It's not a good fit. We don't have the room to slide the track around and have room to get around it. This is the existing asphalt road that goes behind the existing stadium. This is the bank that goes up to the little landing area behind the school. This is the sidewalk, and this is the existing tennis courts. So we've got a very tight fit right there. We did not have room to put everything that would be needed for the stadium, seating, to have also and maintain the existing weight room, the locker room, and to maintain the existing concession stands. And so with that in mind, we felt that we couldn't progress this concept any further. And so with that in mind, that involved the Mason property, and also coming back to the existing football. The first concept will be on the Mason property that has, if you'll notice, it's got a combination multi-sports field with soccer, and then also football with a thousand seat visitor side, and then home 2,500 seating on the home side. With the home side, I believe we were trying to get that on the north side, so the orientation we would not be in the sun. Then we have a new home locker room here with parking for emergency equipment and buses with a big plaza area for pedestrian circulation, a ticket booth here, and also concessions, visitor locker room here, and then bus parking for the visitors. Then this is the access road that's currently a gravel road that comes behind the large parking lot over there next to the high school. This is the baseball and softball field, and this is a sidewalk coming from the large parking area over in front of the high school where they park now. So we'll have a connection, a sidewalk connection all the way across the this new parking lot here. It's got around 30 spaces or so. This will be for coaches, referees, and those folks that needed direct access to the facility. This is all concrete plaza area for moving around circulation. The home bleachers, we have a sidewalk going down, and we have seating down and seating up. This from a track and field fence is football and soccer. Oh. And that's all we have here is just football and soccer on this first concept. But this is an area of about 6.5 acres. So this will be a purchase of about 6.5 acres to get this football and combination soccer with new seating, plaza area, home locker rooms, visitor locker rooms, bus parking for coaching staff and referees and those that need it, some handicap parking, and then we've got a large area here for bus turnaround.
Don, let me point out here that also the ticket booth there, we can have some restroom facilities to support the baseball and softball.
Yeah, John's correct.
Is there anything else in this concept before we move to the next one?
So the only thing I have.
Well, this drive around the end of the softball field there is going to be improved, and then also pedestrian access will be improved between the baseball and the softball field.
So this right now will be designed to be a public road because it's currently a public road, from what we can tell on our research.
So, and this concept has no track, correct?
No, it does not. It's just a combination of soccer and football field. So this concept that's loading up it's the Mason property as well that does have the multi-purpose field of soccer and football, but it has a 400-meter track around it. And it also has some other athletic stations, such as a high jump, long jump. This is the long jump.
This one's this one.
This is the high jump area.
concept had, the additional parking,
This
the
is the new
visiting
behind the baseball
team
field
facility,
with a track.
visiting team bus parking,
The first one was
referee
behind the
parking.
baseball without a track.
No,
This is
The
behind the baseball with
home
a track.
bleachers are
Okay.
split so that there's the main concourse,
that one's right.
there's seating down below and then seating above, so the main,
This one.
pedestrian circulation
This one,
is down the middle of the
Watch it.
bleachers. You can see the two long,
It's the
gray rectangles representing the seating area. Some seating will be down below the concourse and some will be up above the
Was if we put a
concourse.
track there, just the feasibility of it not.
So that the field is depressed,
You can't put a track
into the site
the way it
a
sits
little
now.
bit. And so there's viewing, from the plaza area and then also obviously from the stands.
So we've also got
I
the
think that,
discus
the
and
new
shot
track's
put
better.
stations as well. And so we've got more
Either
field
one of them.
events
Yeah.
Yes.
in addition to the track. I will say that this is, about 9.5 acres. Is what this, complex will need.
But it has, dressing facilities for the home and visitors, concession for the home and visitors. We talked about, the two, concession stands that you currently have and operate, keeping that same concept, to support both organizations that, provide the moms and dads for those, to operate those concessions.
So those are located in this building that's labeled as a ticket window. So ticket and then concessions on both ends.
And the concession on both ends will be one for the band, one for the basketball away. And the ticket booth will split them.
Hey, Brian, want to talk about, the layout of those items?
Where are the bathrooms located in there, where the locker rooms are?
They should be in this front. Hey, Don, this is Mike. Can you hear me?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, the restrooms in this layout here, are they located in the ticket window area?
There's restrooms, can you see my hand? There's actually bathrooms, it's in the locker room building, this,
The top and
Got it.
down here, I think on that either
So
side.
they'll be in the dressing rooms.
If I remember
So
correctly.
part will be dressing room for the teams, the other part.
On the other side too. Yeah, I
Don,
think the visitor side
Don,
is,
you zoom in on those two areas?
We found it on the drawing.
Okay.
there should be a restroom for the home side, a restroom for the visitors.
Yeah,
That's
there's
correct.
right here.
Same thing.
All right, can we break down
Can
the
you hear me,
cost
Joe?
now of each option?
well, let's look at the last one, Mr. Sullivan, if we can, we got one more to look
got
at,
one
and
more.
then we can go back
Next to
and
this,
look at the preliminary costing that we put
next to
together
this
for you.
one, turning the
Part of
field
your job is
and
to
putting
figure
the
out.
track on.
I don't know that I like that one.
Wow.
So here, go back to the existing football field, and we actually wind up,
This will have everybody too.
Yeah, baseball and soccer.
putting the entire
Softball.
complex
No, not baseball and softball.
on the existing
What's it gonna benefit here, other
I
than?
don't know.
Football
That-
field.
That's the thing.
right now, the football field is in disorientation. We're talking about rotating it along this long axis here,
That's option 3.
and then having the track around it. New plaza, new home side bleachers on the north end. The visitor bleachers here, the same amount of seating, and then we've also kept the existing locker room, and we've added this public, here's your restrooms are here, where my hand is at. And then all this, it will be concourse.
So all that will be paid.
The advantage about being here is one, all the utilities are already in place. This will require a purchase of about 3 acres.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, if you stay at the current location and change the orientation of the field to get, the other amenities that you're looking for, you're still gonna have to purchase some property to make that happen.
But this option here, the field house area would not need to be touched, correct?
Correct.
Say again, Mike?
The field house option, the dressing room, weight room there, it could remain there and not be touched, correct?
That's right, you're correct.
So the visitor bleachers is going.
That's
That's this square right here, we have improved, we're planning on paving, if this were the preferred option, we are planning on paving that gravel lot there and putting some handicap parking there.
And the visitor and home section, just so we can get an idea of the layout, it's flipped, correct?
Yes. What you
Yes.
So the
Yeah,
home would be-
compared to what it is currently,
which
yes.
is better because of the
That
sun.
home section would be on the west side of the field
Which is
and
what we wanted, right?
away from the sun. Okay, so the sun would be at everybody's back, on the home side. The visitor side would be looking into the sun, so.
But if we take this option,
This
we
concept
lose
right here is
an extra
basically
field.
a complete redo.
for the
You're
middle
gonna
school,
have to,
outlaws, practice field, correct?
You lose an extra field plus the $30,000 they just put down on the sign.
You know,
What extra field do you lose?
They'd take, John, they'd just come in and cut that and just,
Reuse it.
yeah, they'd just.
Hey, what field did you lose?
if we use the existing field, move it, then we don't have a field for outlaws, middle school.
Yeah,
When we're
you're
talking
back
about
there,
having
everybody
a
using the
field,
same field.
Yeah, everybody have to use it just like they are now.
right,
Yeah.
if we do the other, you got a soccer, you got a football, and you got the extra for this, and take better care of the new.
And the only thing with that, if you went with the new up there,
Mhm.
you just have to make sure those bleachers are tore down from a safety aspect.
Yes, that's the whole problem
I mean,
here.
My big thing
yes,
is the cost
but
side of it.
this
Right.
concept here, about the only thing that's gonna remain is the existing field house. You're gonna have to redo the lockers, the bleachers obviously need to come down and be redone. Some of the utilities will have to be relocated because we're changing the orientation of the field. The athletic lighting's gonna have to be, redone. So this is about the only thing that's, gonna remain with this concept is that existing, field house there.
That's correct.
You also run into a time issue there with that concept as well, is that correct? Potentially.
Oh, absolutely. If you talk about digging up, the field and, changing the orientation, you're going, if that's major surgery,
You'll lose at least a season.
and there's a possibility of losing two depending on the time of year, that we get started. But, for sure, at least one.
Is there a cost estimate on each option here?
We have that information for you, Mr. Sullivan. Brian, you wanna talk about the cost?
Better get your oxygen out.
He just got thrown under the bus.
Yeah.
He just got thrown under the bus.
Sorry, I wanna know what cost.
No, I'm talking about when they said, Brian, you
Oh,
wanna come?
okay. I wanna get the most bang for the buck, to have the most
I think
property.
that's the reason they invited him, so he could come.
Yeah.
So right now, our preliminary estimate for this one is around $6.7 million.
Is that with the land purchase included?
No, that's outside of this. Mason property, and remember, you're buying about 9.5 acres of property.
This is option 3, Don.
This is option 2, right?
This is option 2. That is the second option, that's all in on the Mason property. And it is at it's at 8.7 million.
And that, again, does not include land, correct?
That is correct.
That is correct.
So plus the land. So that's 9 acres and that's 6. All right.
That's going.
And so this is the last option that we
Lowest,
developed.
about 108,000 more for the land, it's $12,000 an acre.
How much an acre?
So this is
$12,000
staying
an acre, it'd be
on the current football site, but reorienting everything and buying 3 acres and then putting the track, new field stations, new plaza, keeping the existing football locker room, new bleachers, and this one is at 7.9 million.
So you can see there's not much difference in cost between this one and the other one.
Yeah.
You're still gonna be buying some property, you're just not gonna be buying as much.
Can you hear me now, John?
Yes.
I can, yes. What happened?
It took a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old tech support team to get me working. You don't wanna see the mess that's out here.
Make them learn their supper, Brian, make them learn their supper.
They're taking care of that 8-year-old puppy right now, that's earning their supper.
There you go.
We reoriented the.
Now, let me understand it, the property's gonna cost us $12,000 an acre?
That's just his
I'm
estimate.
just saying
That's not their estimate.
that's
I mean,
not,
we would have to
I haven't
negotiate.
heard that from Dr. Mason,
Okay.
that's a low, of course, if you go up, I mean, it's gonna be more. That was for,
That is more than what I've heard that the appraisal is.
for 9 acres. I haven't
What about
heard
it?
anything about the appraisal or anything, I don't know, I just.
Brian, what's the rough cost difference between staying at the existing facility, adding soccer and track and reorienting the field versus everything moving over behind the baseball and softball? What's that difference?
I'm getting there, it's not as much as you would think it would be. $3 a million.
Do what?
$750,000 plus the land difference. That's the difference. Plus the land difference of buying.
If,
Nine
somebody's
there,
got a
so
calculator handy,
6. I mean, that's
Now,
$7,000.
6 acres difference.
If we can come up with a way, I think the whole new facility is the best,
Well, that's why I asked if
That's
that's
the
in
way.
the ballpark on where we was
if
at
we
for
can
the year.
afford it.
If you got 8 million, we should be at least 2 million to the good at the end of this year, at least.
John, the total delta
That's
between
why I was
all
asking
3
if you're in the
options
ballpark.
is
It's
only
2
$2
weeks
million.
at the end of our budget, you can't tell where we're at, so
Okay.
how do you know how much you can spend?
Exactly.
How much we got for about?
8 million. About 8 million.
What did you say the difference was again?
Probably 3/4.
It's a little bit more than $2 million between all 3 options, most expensive to least expensive, but that does not take into account the land purchase.
You have nothing here. I mean, you got $1 million
but
for a track just by
the
itself.
difference
So-
between the all-in,
If you turn the track,
It
what's that, or
makes
the
the
stadium where it's at now, if you turn it and add a track, compared to brand new everything is $750,000. It's difference of 8, 7.
So the question
I
is.
think the big thing, if you turn the existing one, the big thing you're gonna run into is upset families because they can't play at least.
So we're gonna lose 1 to 2
For at least
seasons
1 year and
plus.
possibly 2.
So the difference is, $1 million difference. And to Mike's point, you lose the field you currently have, plus you gain the new one up there.
The difference
And you
between
lose
the
1 to 2
option.
seasons of play.
Well,
Not-
whatever we do, we need to look to the future. Let's look to the future.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be a $2-3
It's a
million
$1.3
difference.
million difference. 1.3 is the only difference.
The option behind the softball and the baseball field with the track and all that, is that something that we can do in stages and cut the cost down for now?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's what we need to look at,
You'll never get done,
It'll never get done.
never get done.
never get done.
No.
So you think we need to go for broke, huh?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying, doing it in stages.
There'll
Doesn't
always
work
be
very
somewhere
well.
other place that money can go. So there'll always be some other place that money can go.
Well, I think what they're trying to say is if we spend the 6.7 now to get
That's
this
really
done,
the difference.
then
How long does it took us to come up with 6.2?
2 years from now or a year from now, are we gonna vote on doing another addition to the to the track? Or is it just gonna get thrown to the wayside, which the whole point of it is to get a track?
Well, I hope for once we do something right, do it right, and be
Well,
done with
I
it.
don't disagree.
How much you say we had in fund balance, 8 million?
I don't know, it's a little over 7, it's close to 8, but I don't know the exact figure.
So Don or John, either one of you, if we bought the land behind the baseball, softball field and bought the 9.5 acres where a track would fit, what's the estimate of just doing a track up there?
Brian may have a better guess on this, but I would say that, to come in, if you had everything ready to go, had the land graded, and, we're gonna just put in just the track, you're looking on the low side anywhere from, $1 million to maybe $1.3 million, $1.4 million.
I think you're looking at closer to 2 million to 2.5 million.
That's a big difference.
Grading that site, you gotta grade the whole site. The track itself is about $1 million.
Well, that's what I'm saying, go ahead and do the grade work now.
Well, you've got about $1.5 million in grading, and then about another $1 million in the track and stuff, because you gotta do some infrastructure for it. So, it's fuzzy numbers, but I think you're looking at $2.5 million. Because you still gotta move a lot of dirt.
But we're saying, Brian, go ahead and do the site work now and then do the track in 2 years or 1 year or 3 years.
And, and there's nothing saying that in 5 years you couldn't go build a football field there. I mean, if you do the site work and plan it correctly, you could get the site ready to do the whole project and phase it, kind of do it the opposite way we were thinking.
So here's my
build
thought.
the football field first and the
Well,
track later, and you
so
build the track first and the football field.
Where are you gonna put
Well,
it?
the problem with doing that is, there's gonna come a time where we're not gonna have any seating around, if the football stadium stays where it is in the current location, in the not too distant future, that seating it's gonna be standing room instead of, seating.
So here's my thought. Currently today, we've already approved 4.3 or 4.5 million to renovate the current football field, but that's without a track. So if we put a track behind the softball field and just made it level and didn't do any preparation to add a football field, knowing that we're not gonna add one there, is it still gonna cost $2.5 million? Just the track only, without no future plans of adding a football field.
You still gotta grade all of it. That's the problem, is you have to grade that whole area. And that's expensive.
You need to do as much grade work as you can, in phase 1, so that, you don't have a lot of heavy equipment in there, 2, 3, 5 years when you're adding something else.
Well, that's my point. If we go by our original plan, John, and renovate the current football field on the $4.5 million project that we talked about a long time ago, then we have no need to do another football field anywhere else. All we need is a track. Does that make sense?
Correct.
So that's why I was asking, I mean, there shouldn't be any prep work to add something later, because if we spend